If it were up to Kozuki Oden, then he would never do such a thing like leaving a comrade behind. These words echo the sentiment of all the samurai that are present on Onigashima. These words beautifully encapsulate the will that Yamato has inherited from Oden. Just as 20 years ago, Oden sacrificed himself by standing in that pot of boiling oil just to save his men, which would later be known as the Hour of Legends, Yamato too is willing to lay down her life just to save Momo. One Piece chapter 996 has just dropped, and this was a beautiful chapter. Spoiler warning: this video will contain spoilers, so if you have not read the latest chapter, then I highly recommend you checking it out and then getting back to this video. The title of this chapter, The Island of the Strongest, beautifully captures the events that are currently unfolding on Onigashima. We have the strongest creature Kaido, along with the Beast Pirates, Big Mom with Perospero, the Straw Hats, the Samurai, the Minks, the Heart Pirates, the Kid Pirates, and even Marco. All these major characters are all on one single island. We get another cover art drawn at the request of fans, and in this cover art, we see Blackbeard and a hippo brushing their teeth together. This is a very nice and simple cover art, and I can't wait for the next cover story. So it looks like we cut to straight after the event that took place last chapter. Tama has successfully saved Nami and Usopp and is currently on the run, with Page 1 and Ulti chasing them. Usopp seems to almost be in a condition where he is knocked out. Looks like he will be out of the battle for quite some time. When asked how she reached the island, Tama tells us that she came here using an enemy ship. This isn't surprising given that she has the ability to control the gifters if she so pleases. As this conversation is taking place, a baboon has stalled Page 1 and Ulti so that Nami, Usopp, and Tama have enough time to escape. Nami seems worried that the baboon might not last long against the two members of the Tobiropo. Tama tells Nami not to look down on them as they too are samurai and they have come here to fight. Right after this, we cut to the location where Yamato and Momo are present. Yamato is easily taking down the members of the armored corps. The members try to bombard Yamato at once but are unable to damage her, and with one swing of her kanabo, she destroys the shields that are protecting the armor corps members. Shinobu is worried and feels that Yamato may not be able to handle all these enemies even though she is very strong. She tells Yamato to take Momo and run away, and that's when we get those beautiful words where Yamato tells Shinobu that if Kozuki Oden was in her place, he would never do such a thing. Sasaki thinks that Yamato might be too overconfident, that she can fight and defeat him while simultaneously protecting Momo and Shinobu. Sasaki finally steps in and decides that if this goes on any longer, then the entire armor corps will be wiped out. As this is happening, Yamato looks at Sasaki and we get a glimpse of her teeth changing. This could be an indication that Yamato has a devil fruit. In this form, she just growls, and at the sight of this slight transformation, Sasaki is visibly shaken. At this exact moment, Frankie enters as he is being chased by Hacha. Momo and Yamato both recognize Frankie, and Yamato is in shock that such humans actually exist. As Hacha is chasing Frankie, he lifts up his weapon and slams it on the ground, trying to attack Frankie. But he is able to dodge the attack. The impact of Hacha's weapon smashing the ground has resulted in the ground completely shattering. In the midst of this chaos, Yamato takes Shinobu and Momo and escapes to the floor below, and then tells Frankie that Luffy has entrusted Shinobu and Momo to her and that she leaves the guys on the floor to him. This means that soon we will get a matchup between Frankie and Sasaki. Ever since the official color scheme of the Tobiropo has been revealed, there has been speculation that Sasaki might be related to Kokoro from Water 7. As their hair color is identical, and she had mentioned that she had a son who had gone to travel the seas. All the members of the Tobiropo were former pirate captains, so it does seem feasible that Sasaki might be related to Kokoro. If that is the case, then there is all the more reason for Frankie to fight Sasaki, given Frankie's relation to Kokoro. Right after Yamato entrusts everything to Frankie, she decides to help him out a bit. She swings her kanabo, and there are sparks of lightning around it, which looks like a resemblance to armament haki, and even bears resemblance to Kaido when he used his Thunder Bagua to defeat Luffy. This swing causes such a massive shockwave that with that one swing she takes out Hacha. Seeing Hacha taken down in one shot sends shivers down Sasaki's spine as he is in complete shock. He orders his men to follow Yamato. As Yamato is running away, she tells Momo that he has to be alive no matter what, as he is the person who will guide the world to its dawn. The concept of dawn has been brought up multiple times in the story. The Minks believed that the Straw Hats would be the ones to bring the dawn to the world. And from what Yamato has said, it looks like Momo too will be an integral part of this plan. This could possibly be because of his powers to control Zunisha. Yamato does have Odin's journal, which means she could be aware that the dawn will happen soon after the major war that will encompass the entire world. We then cut to level 2 of the basement, where Law has defeated some gifters and is on his way to look for something. As he is fighting the gifters, he thinks back to what Corazon says to him about how those who carry the initial D are the natural enemies of God. We learn that Law has told Robin about his initial because he trusts her. She is shocked to hear that Law too bears the initial D. She tells him that at this point she cannot help him, but she too is interested in the meaning of the Will of D, and the only way to find it out is to follow the road poneglyphs. And for that to happen, they would need to defeat the Yonko. Law then reaches a small room with a poneglyph, but is surprised to find that that poneglyph was not a road poneglyph. As he remembers Corazon, he thinks to himself that he will find the meaning of his cursed destiny. Ever since Dressrosa, it looked like Law's only goal was to defeat Doflamingo and take revenge for Corazon. And after that was achieved, it looked like he had no other goals, which raised some serious death flags for him. But now, since we know that he has another goal, that is to learn about the Will of D, I highly doubt that Law will die anytime soon. At least not until he learns about the Will of D. Then we cut to the third floor in the castle, where Kid and Killer are making their way up as they fight all the Fodder Beast pirates. Kid uses his power to take away all the weapons, and one after another, he and Killer keep defeating the Fodder Beast pirates. It's good to finally see some spotlight being thrown on Kid, as pretty much this entire raid he has been missing. After this, we get a few panels of Kaido mercilessly crushing the Scabbards, and these few panels are so captivating and powerful. We then cut back to the live hall where Big Mom has appeared. Everybody there is shocked to see her. She tells them that she doesn't have time to deal with them, and she is going directly to the rooftop to join Kaido in the battle. The thing that worries me the most is how unpredictable Big Mom is. At this point, we have no idea what she'll do. We then get a glimpse of Luffy, Jinbei, and Sanji as they are making their way to the third floor. As this is happening, Sanji hears the voice of a woman, most probably due to his observation haki. And we end the chapter on this cliffhanger. My guess is that the woman is Black Maria, since she is somewhere in the vicinity. If this is the case, and if Sanji does encounter Black Maria, then I wouldn't want a repeat of what happened in NES lobby. At this stage in the war, the Alliance cannot afford to lose more members, and if Sanji does go against Black Maria, we know that he will not attack her, and this could really become a problem later on. Sanji needs to be at full power when he fights one of the commanders. This chapter is slowly setting up things for chapter 1000, and we are only 4 chapters away. Things are really getting very interesting at this point. All we can do is wait and see what this build-up leads to. What are your thoughts on this chapter? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like the video, then do hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. As always, hope you guys have an amazing day. This is Rajan signing out.